Okay, Jamie, so I just want to work on some mental game stuff with you. And
Okay.
so I know you've mentioned in the past like some trouble with, I guess, like over the ball and like the thoughts in your head.
Yes.
So what kind of things do you think about over the ball when you're about to hit?
Unfortunately, I think about a lot of things. Probably all sorts of things from backswing to at impact I'm trying to do this and there's the target. And so I think I need help kind of separating that somehow.
That makes total sense. Yeah, and you're definitely not the only person that does that. It's a really common thing, I think, you know. So one thing I want you to try is there's this theory called think box, hit box.
Okay.
So what I want you to do is just imagine that behind the ball, like a yard behind, is your think box. So back here. So what I want you to do is remember is that behind the ball, like a yard behind, that'll be your think box. So do all your course management things there. So your distance, your flow, full swing, quarter swing,
Right.
all of the wind, any of those thoughts.
Okay.
And even back here, get any negative thoughts out of the way.
Okay.
They come through and, move along.
Right.
So that then when you set up to hit the ball, that's your hit box.
Okay.
So leave all those thoughts behind. When you hit the ball, that's all you need to focus on. All the things that you can or can't control are already out of the way.
Okay.
So just kind of, you can practice it now. Yeah, and even try and, if you want, if you like it, you can include it and kind of incorporate that into your pre-shot routine.
Okay.
That's one option for you.
Okay.
So that, like I said, that's one option if you want to try and just kind of eliminate some of the thoughts over the ball.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Jamie, so one thing we've kind of talked about is how your scoring kind of has changed over the years. And so I just want to understand, like, from you, what are some of your goals that you have for scoring?
It's been really hard for me, like, to realistically set goals, I think, probably, just because I was a lot lower before than I am now.
Yeah.
And that's just the kind of the reality of life and working and school and everything, so it's hard. So I'm just having a hard time, I think, not every time I play expecting what it was before.
Totally. That makes complete sense. Okay. So yeah, one thing I kind of want you to work on, and it's so important to set goals, we know that, and that gives you something to achieve and aspire for, and that's kind of what golf's all about, is always trying to be better. And we are trying to improve and kind of get back to before and be competitive again. And so one thing I want you to remember is, like you said, realistic goals. That's so important. But one thing to remember also is to make sure you're continuously challenging yourself. So like you said, don't immediately try and strive for those previous scores, kind of work your way back. And so just definitely work on setting goals that are realistic, but still challenge yourself.
Okay. Would it be a good idea kind of to, like, each week or month or however many times I'm playing to kind of take strokes off in my goals based off that?
Definitely.
Kind of align it more with, like, how much I'm practicing, because there are some times when I'll go a couple weeks without practicing, a few weeks without practicing.
Yeah, and if that's the case, so say you set a goal in May, and you don't have a chance to practice, but you were intending on practicing, then you might have to go back and reassess your goals. So I completely agree with that. Yeah, weekly or monthly or even both, kind of go back and be like, okay, this is how much I've had the opportunity to practice. So I might need to reassess my goals if it wasn't as much as I expected, or even, it can be positive. And if you've been like, I've had a chance to play a lot and practice a lot, you can set higher expectations for yourself.
That's awesome. I like thinking of it from the positive aspect too.
Yeah.
I hope that at some point it will be that. So
exactly.
But yeah, that's awesome and good to hear from someone else. So
cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Okay, Jamie, that was a really good swing off the tee. The only thing, obviously, like, you just missed the fairway just by a little bit, so that can be frustrating. The lie you have here, really, it's not that good. We know that it's kind of trouble. And you're 2 feet from the fairway, so that's frustrating.
Yes, it is.
How does that make you feel?
I can't say that I generally react very well to that.
Okay,
especially missing fairways, because that's kind of my thing, is hitting fairways usually. Hasn't been lately.
Okay.
But I get mad, and I think I know that it affects the next shot and the shot after that. I'm not very good at kind of separating that and getting past it.
Totally. Yeah, that's definitely frustrating. And kind of, it's really important just to manage those emotions, and it's totally frustrating. That's what a lot of people don't like about golf, is that it is so frustrating, and those emotions can kind of go haywire on you before you even know it. So one thing I would say is just kind of to, I know Bubba does this, and I know you're a Bubba fan, so this might kind of be a fun thing for you, is that when he walks to his bag, or to his next shot, a lot of people don't necessarily like him because he's kind of outwardly expresses his have an understanding that he's allowed to get out those emotions. And it's better to get it out, and then by the time you get to the next shot, you know, you're clear. The slate is clean. So one thing, I mean, you're not a totally outwardly expressive of your emotions.
Right.
You don't show your frustration that much, but kind of just work on managing those emotions, and if they're there, acknowledge them and accept that they're there, but get rid of it before the next shot.
Yeah, I think
one shot at a time.
That acceptance thing is something I struggle with, and so I think that's what I'll have to work on is, all right, I'm in the rough, but what can I do to make it better from here on out?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Yeah, I mean, when you're in a bad situation, you just kind of got to accept it and figure out what you can do. So it's a perfect opportunity to manage those emotions and just make the next shot as best you can. So.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.